It is Renegades, and they are going live. And for everybody at home, we're going to jump on in right now. We've got Mibr, bit of utility on Fur and Fallen. And for Renegades, it's Gratisfaction with a smoke and a diffuse kit. It's looking like it's going to be a relatively swift play down that pop dog towards Yard. They barrel on out. Cold Zero already taking the duel towards the bomb train. Liaz is going to take down the first, and Jacob up close is whiffing a little bit. Eventually gets 2 big kills. And now we find ourselves on 2-on-4.
But Fallen gets 1 back. That's the key. Just to note as well. Still in the Brazilian jerseys. We often make mention of that during special occasions, but obviously back to a Brazilian base. Brazilian 5. They're going to rock that for a period of time, it seems. Nonetheless, it's Renegades to pick up the first rounds. Renegades, after the major, are you convinced? Or was that a... You never predict for them, but give me an opinion. Is that something that has longevity?
Well, the fact that they did it against Tyloo yesterday, now it was 2 close matches.
Tyloo's always close. Doesn't matter who they play.
It shows me that they're able to carry through some of that form. I know that a lot of the guys stayed in Europe boot camping. I don't think Azza was able to make it over to who's playing from North America. But they stayed in Europe playing for this tournament, so we should still see some good form out of these guys coming into this. It will be the eco from Mibr. Just a couple of things to note. Mibr, when we see them on this map, their CT side looks phenomenal, right? They've got that 4-man A-Lean. They've got Tarik, one of the best B anchors you have in the entire game. And they look really good on their CT side. But their T side, sometimes it can be a little bit lackluster. And I was looking at some stats of them this year, Matt. If they don't get the opening kill, they struggle to convert rounds if they're down in the 4v5 situation. They only have a 24.7 conversion rate. On,
that's extremely low.
Yeah,
most teams would be like, I would guess, I'd say high 30s on that.
Yeah, Renegades are 35.2% in contrast, right?
Yeah.
And this isn't one of the better maps for Renegades. Sure, they're pretty proficient on it. There should just be a bit of an eco wipe here. If they get a plant, they'll be more than happy. The bomb is down on the low ramp, so nothing to write home about. But so look for that on these T sides. If Mibr are really struggling to get kills, then don't expect these T rounds to be going in their favor.
It's interesting as well because like Fallen and you'd expect them to be one of the teams better at actually coming back in those deficits, playing more methodical and actually technical.
Well, we get to the business end quite quickly now. Mibr will be buying on up. Fallen taking a couple of compromises, having to get utility, so he'll have a Galil. Taco making some big decisions, and Phelps also going for a Galil. This normally leans towards a set piece, right? When you see people not getting the AK and armor, it means they're less likely to go for a default spread. It means that they might have a strategy in mind. And Renegades with having a clean round, they can still keep that UMP. They've got the Scout and Gratisfaction's hands. Jacob on the ever-questionable Famus. They've a couple of grenades towards team mid early to stop any pressure out there. 3 players of Mibr defaulting above Pop Dog and Foxholes right now just to get control. And then a very passive team main and Ivy hold.
Yeah, now we'll get back into the defaults. I want you to keep an eye on the money system for me, Chad. Give me your opinions throughout. Yesterday it was hard to judge.
Yeah, when it's very back and forth, it doesn't become...
It's not as much of an issue.
Not at all.
Because you're still buying in more than you're gaining back, so you're whittling down your money no matter what. It's more the comeback situations that I want to watch on both sides. Because if you're working back into it proficiently, you can't break the other team, but likewise you don't get broken, so if you're holding on, it goes both ways.
It's the dire situations, you know, the ones that only happen once in a blue moon where it's really going to hurt teams.
Yes. I just, yesterday I couldn't get a feel for it, more to speak, I guess.
This is going to be an inside here as we can see everybody from Mibr congregating. Renegades already have JKS and Jacob on the scene, and Gratisfaction is in a quick rotation, or he was in a quick rotation position.
Well, Jacob sits at 5 kills right now as well. So the fact that he's been on the B site and doing pretty solidly in the first 2 rounds is encouraging. Hasn't faced guns yet, sure, but he's warmed up and feeling comfortable, which is going to aid for JKS. 2 have gone by spools. They might think this is open. He has a great chance to capitalize. Has to watch Cold above. Cold checks it, finds the headshot instead. That allows Fallen and Fur to walk in from the entrance. And as they do so, they'll wrap around the train. Leas all the way back behind the rotation. Red train. Was Azza spotted? I don't know if Cold got him or not, but he looks away from the flash because he has no choice to do so as his teammate throws it in. He'll fall, but Phelps found Azza. And it's left in a 1-on-3 need. Could find one. It will. Takes down Phelps. This isn't done just yet. In fact, it may not be at all because he's sneaking by, but Fallen is aware of the fact that he could have gone down the lane and checks it just as his teammate was pushing forward.
That was a must-make kill there for JKS. You could see Jacob actually on top of the oil train towards high ramp with a flash out the entire time. So as they pushed down low ramp, that flash was kind of to give JKS a chance to pick. The timing was off a little bit, and then Cold Zero wrecked him. Gratisfaction only have enough money to buy back into another scout. And JKS has to make a compromise as well, but everybody else on the Renegade side will have rifles. You can see over there on Mibr's side, they're currently working out their buy, dropping around some guns, but everybody will leave spawn with a rifle at least. This is obviously the pick of MIBR, one of their strengths, but they were on a 5-map winning streak until Blast, and then at Blast, it all went down the drain. So they lost both of their showings on train on home soil, unable to get anything done there. Will be very disappointed with themselves after that. I don't know if you had a chance, Matt, to see them play at WESG, but they got blown out of the water by none other than Wendigo and Ships with absolutely ridiculous pushes on Overpass, just beasting them.
I didn't get a chance to see it. I won't lie to you.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Counter-Strike lately.
That is the problem. I can't catch every single game. I do remember seeing the scoreline and being surprised, but I didn't see it. JKS down below cold. He's going to sit up above. We go back to a 2-on-1, and they've got the guns out to go against a scout for Gratisfaction. Saw him this morning looking sprightly.
Always has a smile, doesn't he?
It's because his mustache is pretty much smiling. It's just like pointed up on each end. It's already a smile. Even when he's frowning, he just looks like he's smiling. Cold without the glasses.
Ooh, this is an outside fake that's happening right here. It hasn't actually drawn a rotation because Renegades had all 4 players on the yard with JKS anchoring. Now they know, so they're rotating back at this point. They should have numbers. Is it a double pump? Is it a double fake?
Well, I would agree with that, except for that the bomb's the one at high. If the bomb was going back toward ladder, I could have said maybe they could sell it from upper, but they have to go back over at this point in time. 22 seconds, that's a commitment. And they've fallen. He's trying to tell them it is a double pump. It's a triple almost because they go back around. He gets the rotations. That catches them out of position, but the problem is with 13 seconds, they haven't got the bomb down. Taco, he just gets the kill on JKS in time. That was the round. Now he puts it down, and even then it's not secure for MIBR because they've got to hold off Gratisfaction and Leas walking back in. High ground is covered off. Fallen never left. He's close. He's inside of the doorway, and he reveals himself, takes damage significantly, and puts him down to 43. Leas can't capitalize immediately, however, and Fallen can play the time. You're right, no kit indeed. Leas is, done at this point. It's already gone far enough that Fallen can even peek on a 10-second defuse. He'll do exactly that early. He takes the damage, but it was already too far gone. 2-2.
Oh, that was a bit unlucky there. I thought that Gratisfaction definitely would have been traded there from Leas, who able to finish off the kill on Fallen, puts himself in a very awkward 1v1 situation. Now Renegades have the question of do they want to force buy? Because only one player was left alive. Sure, the plant came in, but the money isn't swelling right now for the Brazilians. They have another Galil on the board. Players with enough utility, but it will be the eco from Renegades. So while we have this eco bash probably take place here, I did read some tweets of yours after the economy change came out, and I think you echo a very similar sentiment to me in the thought that the excitement level in late stages of the game has kind of been reduced because if you win a 1-on-3 late and normally you'd break the economy and you completely ruin a team and you'd flatten them for the better part of 2 rounds potentially, that's gone.
Yeah, that's where I think the comeback issue is much harder now, which it kind of goes both ways because at the same time, if you're a team that's struggling late in games and you can't get the economy going and you're getting blown out, well, now you get a chance to get back into it. So I can see that. But there's to me, that comeback of like, oh, my God, they're actually on the brink of doing this. And you're on the edge of your seat. And formerly you were alt-tabbed out to something else on your computer or on another internet tab. And all of a sudden you hear the commentators going crazy about a comeback. Boom, you're tuned back in and everyone's there, right? Like, is that element lost?
I think that there's a couple of things with this change. For me, I'm not about rewarding the losers. I'm all about avoiding double ecos. I'm all about making sure that the hard reset really isn't a thing so we can have more competitive games. That's something which I can get behind. But I'm not about giving the loser the full-on reward. And there's actually, this is just going to be a melt here on the back of old Bomb, but I think that you need to make sure that ecos are still a part of the game, or at least the question of an eco is still part of the game. We can see it still being a case here. But it's a merge of the new and the old of the money system. It's not the new money system that's bad. It's that 1,400 loss bonus still exists.
Yep.
I think that if you got rid of that, especially on the CT side, that would be fantastic. Guns cost more, utility costs more, you need a defuse kit.
So you would say start at 19?
Yeah, for the CTs. And for the Ts, because they can get the plant and get plus 800, for them, it's not as, it doesn't hamper them as badly. You know, they can still have an influx of cash.
That's always been the issue in my mind. And that's why the AUG being the price that it was for a while, I thought was actually going to start to level things out. They've obviously changed that back a bit. And yeah, it definitely is the CT side. It's the fact that if you are down and out on the economy on the T side, you can get a buy almost every second round guaranteed. There's no guarantee in the CT that you can, depending on how aggressive you want to go. Certainly not to get double ops out, which is a problem for a lot of teams. Meanwhile, this round, there is one out. Gratisfaction finds Phelps on the inside of the E-box as it gets found at the half wall, working out from Pop Dog for Falls. He's only got one, but Cold's there to trade it. It was down to 2 remaining. Fallen had a kill early on, didn't have to do much even though he had the bomb. The rest of the round was just chaotic inside of the site. And it's now 4-2 for MIBR.
Most times you don't expect people to get the openings as easy coming out of main there when they did the opening smoke. So they did the E-box smoke, they did the 5-lane smoke. It's meant to be more difficult than that. But with the two players congregated towards E-box, it was an awkward angle, and not winning that initial duel at that point leaves a massive gap. Everybody else has to kind of fold on over to pick up the pace, and at that point it all just fell apart for Renegades. Not able to get a lot done, and now they're going to go for a bit of a mixed buy. As it has a scout, it's 3 Deagles on the board and JKS with the P250. Liaz has a bit of utility, so let's see how that plays into the round. He has a smoke and 2 flashes. Pressuring the inner bomb site once again looks to be the port of call, as we can see Taco and coldzera clearing the box holes. Fallen and Fur sauntering on in, and Phelps, he's not too far away, but he'll be able to cover that flank. Something
that HUDs and overlays, an obsession in the community as of late. You can certainly add a new tracker for the current loss bonus stat for certain teams, right? Because that's constant at this point in time. There's no hard reset. Fur, good follow-up from the first, but it's JKS down below. Oh, Liz came in to help him out. 14 HP for Justin, but he still sits down by the bomb train, and it's the advantage to Renegades as all of the sudden Fallen has to fall away and go toward Phelps. Phelps famously was good on train. Inside sandwich, outside CT side, that was when they had their streak of the 17-0. He was on that lineup. This was probably his best map when he was with them. And he'll have to watch off Fallen this time. Rotating back over. They've gotten an AK-47. Justin's the one that went up to grab it. JKS.
He's miles away right now, though.
Well, that's because he had to go so far to get it. He had to climb all the way up to the upper side of the site. That's a huge whiff from Phelps. Fallen now sits alone. He's missed the cross as well on the 14 HP JKS. He can now bait out the aim, force him off, and he's going to get surrounded, completely overwhelmed.
You can't be missing those, mate. Jeez, in a situation where you already have the odds tips against you, that should be a sitter right there. Renegades are going to get lucky. They're going to get a freebie right here, and now their money going to be swelling. They can get the AWPs on the board for Gratisfaction. JKS can drop one over, or they can even run double AWPs like we saw them do back in IEM Sydney when they had Nifty in the roster. Lots of options here for Renegades, and MIBR will still be able to get the buy. Fallen can get an AWP of his own, so it's not completely done and dusted just yet. But I was actually going to bring up a point. If they converted that round, that was more rounds they got against Renegades at the Major when it was 16-12 scoreline in MIBR's favor. It was 11-4 first half with them getting 4 T rounds. If they got 5, they'd done that super early in the piece and would have been looking hot to take this map very convincingly. But maybe the tides will turn now. Close pop holders coming on in, as we can see Jacob and Azza playing up close. Just a bit of a default spread right now from MIBR. The only place they're missing presence is over towards Ivy.
So Azza waits down below at Pop Dog. Can certainly hear the fact that Taco's firing, pre-firing the corner. You want some cake?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. I just had a fast food joint's burger and nuggets.
Okay.
That was remain nameless.
Okay. I went over and went and found the food court, and all of it there was just like amazing. Just for a food court,
that mall is mental, isn't it?
It's pretty big.
We're just going to see Azza get in a bit of trouble here because coldzera was lining up a Molotov for his position, and the flashes come out, which push him back at a perfect time. But Gratisfaction up close and personal with the AWP is going to rescue him, save his life, and allow him to dip back. But look how much ground Phelps has got.
Phelps has got a lot inside of Sandwich. We mentioned that position for him. Surprisingly, there was no counterplay toward Hell, and that was mostly due to the fact that Elias was watching it to make sure Grat could fall away from the smoke. But you said Azza's in trouble. Oh, he nearly bought himself enough time to get back out. However, it's Fallen. That has to make amends with the fact the op had found a kill the other direction first. Leaves us on 3-eye side. Fallen.
They're going inside.
They are. They're going to rotate it over, but Taco's got 4 HP. He's the one holding the bomb, and Cold has to hold the site. AK down. They've made so much noise. Cold's not, I don't think, done enough in this. He hasn't cleared the site. He waited at the entrance, and that gave huge positional advantage to Jacob.
Yeah, I don't really understand that play from Cold because exactly as you alluded to, he needed to get real estate. The fact that he merely put a smoke down and played behind it, that's a clutch position, but the bomb's not planted. You don't have side under control. Your 2 teammates rotating in with absolutely no time. Can't get anything done. Bit of a blunder of a decision right there.
Yeah, I think he should have been pushing. I know that Cold's not normally the aggressor in most situations when someone else is available, but
there he had to be, right?
Yeah. If life gives you lemons, make orange juice. Get through the smoke.
So they're going to take a save here. The only one who's upgraded in is coldzera on a Deagle and Taco with a P250. Now, normally when you have two players investing into these kind of weapons, you want to give them a chance to work. I like to call it, give coldzera a chance to go for a pick somewhere, but it appears they just want to flood in towards this inner bomb site, with Cold and Taco are actually towards the back of the pack. Maybe Cold and Taco will go down low ramp here. That looks to be, well, I was saying the play, but Taco low ramp, the rest out high. They pop on in. JKS has picked up that secondary orb. He'll grab the first. Ooh, the lack of head armor there is going to get punished with the long-range Glock from Phelps, so that's fallen to the ground. The bomb's going to get planted any second now. So this is already a massive win for MIBR in this situation.
Might be more than that. Oh, Taco, okay. Just had jumped off the ladder.
Wait, JKS died. Jacob died.
Yes, but nonetheless, it was kind of clever because Taco was stuck on the ladder due to the Molotov that Azza threw and then couldn't jump off to kill him, and when he did, he burned himself alive. But you're right, just a bomb going down, that's good enough for MIBR for all the reasons we talked about with the loss bonus. T side, get that extra 800, things are looking pretty. But the double op stays up, and JKS, he'll have it once more.
5 scopes.
Good point. 6 across the map, only 1 on the T side.
So Fallen's gone glass cannon. He has no armor behind that AWP at all. He'll have the AWP with 2 flashes. Not necessarily needed as you're an AWP player. You're going to be taking these duels where you make it or you're dead. So lots of pressure applied there. JKS is actually going aggressive towards the high ramp, so he's going to have an early fight with Taco, who's taking box hole control. Close pop is yet another standard from Renegades here. Molotov out of position, we can see, so JKS has to fall back. The thing is, early for Renegades, there's no quick rotator unless they're playing 2 inside. So you can see what that means. That if you look at the radar on your top left, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that JKS has dropped all the way back to play retake. So they're happy to give up the bomb site, and as they drop down, JKS will get the better of Fallen.
Oh, he's got
a second chance. Taco feeling very audacious.
Tag down to 27. The fact that the Grat got the early kill out toward Ivy as well. Second one was a follow-up on B. They're pretty confident in rotating this map, and not only that, they've pushed up Azza inside of Pop Dog. He's got lots of room to work with on falling back. Fur inside of the site bomb as well. Things not looking good for MIBR, caught with nades in their hands on both occasions.
So we did talk about that statistic at the start where they had a very low percentage of rounds converted after the opening death. I'm going to go have a look and see how many times they've actually been able to find the opening kill in this match. Obviously, pistol rounds not going in their favor. We want to mainly be looking at those gun rounds. I think, give me a second here as I load up everybody's favorite website. So in the last round that they were actually able to put on the board, the score being 4-2, they did find the opening kill. At 3-2, that was against the Eco, the opening kill. They're even able to get round number 4, but Azza found the opening duel there. So if it's a quick trade, that's fine. But if they're losing just to picks by playing a slower, more defaulty style, at that part of time, you start to think that they can't really put the pieces of the puzzle together. We saw some indecision in the late round before with coldzera going down the low ramp, the late rotation coming in from Taco and Fallen. Not enough time to give them to actually take the duels and take the fights. They just had to go and get that bomb down. And right now, we will see MIBR on a partial buy. A couple of Deagles have been bought into here, 4 to be the total number, and Fallen on the scout. This is what the loss bonus is going to allow for more often, right? You're going to get chances where you can see buys along these lines coming in more and more often, and then with the plants for the tees, especially buys. So Renegades are looking hot to trot right now. It will be another inside play. JKS happy to retake yet again, but it becomes more dangerous against the pistols as if they bust in off this flashbang of Phelps, which is going to come through any moment, and push on up. The range of the rifles has been negated. I know it's Deagle still, but pistols love to swarm, and here they come, busting out high ramp. And so they're going to be the leg shot from JKS. Taco makes it down the ladder, still has his HP intact, and eventually he'll fall, but it does take 2 shots. The bomb should be going down, and the rotation comes in.
Trying to get that shot with the AUG upper. JKS is aware of the fact that Fur was there, but followed up Fur. He fell to Jacob. Now JKS knows he can get back in position, get a little bit more aggressive on that op, and Cold is anything but, because he's got a bonfire on the right side and no marshmallows to roast. He's got to go left instead. He'll be found by Jacob, and that should be the round. Phelps, he'll try the quick drop to take the diffuser, make things a little bit interesting. In fact, they're just going to go and get him instead. The fact that he found the first kill, I'm surprised he didn't go for that.
Yeah.
Just drop down with the Deagle, give it a crack, make things awkward.
Maybe he just wants to keep his death stats as low as possible.
That, yep, sure. Yes.
It all counts. I don't know how you feel about the fantasy that HLTV.org have going on at the moment.
I'm all for it. I like fan engagement, so I think it's great. I haven't engaged myself, so I don't know how the points work, but
it's an interesting system.
Yeah, I'm all for fantasy.
But it's a good bit of fun. And once again, Renegades are still going to be rocking this double AWP setup. No need to drop it. It's definitely been working. Let's see how MIBR want to change things up. We saw the opening move come out late where they busted several players out of main with the 5-lane and the E-box smoke, but once again, it just is that default spread. Phelps over towards Ivy. coldzera and Taco clearing inside with Fallen overseeing with the AWP to make sure nobody picks high ramp. JK is actually picking up low ramp here, so we're on board with him right now. Whether he makes the shot or not, it doesn't matter, but it's just the presence of the AWP. Oh, he's actually picked back into the line. I think he was expecting the flash to be a little bit more poppy there. And he's going to get taken down very early, which has caused the rotation over. Liaz has pushed Ivy here. If he gets a bit more aggressive, he does have Phelps waiting for him in this blue bin position. So you can see there in the picture on the left-hand side of your screen, he's about to get into a lot of trouble if he doesn't clear his corner. He's going to get taken down from Phelps. So an information play that had to be made, but he could have played to contain. Maybe the flank was unnecessary.
First going to go down. This is the first time they've actually taken bomb toward Ivy, which is a bit surprising because MIBR normally has a pretty strong presence in this position on the map.
They're going to fake inside here, Matt. Are they going for an inner split? This could be a mistake.
Well, it could be. The fact that they've gotten the kill back at Ivy at the very least, bomb spotted, they now know that it's going to go this direction, and quickly the two players at B will scurry back toward Pop Dog. That's one of the two fights they need to win. Azza, he's got the other position, though, and he's doubled up. Lay has one toward Pop Dog, and suddenly this is a winnable round. 17 seconds, bomb is down toward the entrance at long, and Azza, he's going to smartly slip away and play the time. 10 seconds, Taco has to commit. He gets the headshot. Brilliantly done. 2 kills, and then positional.
Wow, the fact that all fell apart considering they were offered up basically 2 free kills. JKS re-picking into coldzera and Taco, who did a great job of clearing out that low ramp angle and punishing him for daring to take another chance. And then Liaz, he's gone walkabout. Phelps hiding in the garbage position, gets the free kill. That's a 3-on-5 situation that MIBR should be taking to the bank every day of the week. So Renegades, once again, they've had that eco victory. They've had that 3-on-5. MIBR should be looking at least 6 rounds on this T-half.
That's, yeah, pretty shocking that they're not getting much done now. Although they will open up this round, so the opening pick in their favor. Jacob this time at Sandwich. Sees the shadows, knows they're up there, but can't find Fallen. He was the second man up. Liaz gets follow-up, though, to recover. JKS does the same. So we sit level. Not for long. Liaz finds Fur. That's going to give him the shot on the AUG. Watch for Taco. Smoke down. He's got a gap to play with. A gap that will work in his favor. But once more, it's brought level. In fact, more so than that, it's gone their advantage, with Taco now needing to clutch. Knows Gratisfaction is around the corner, but unsure of the second location. Grat's got the movement.
Whew. I want to point out that we spoke about MIBR having a much stronger CT side, right? I think 4 is more than enough for them to definitely take their map choice. Their CT side is like a brick wall. You're going to get a really good example of how good Taco is as an inside anchor. You'll see the 3-man come out of main every time. You've got Fallen, Phelps, and Fur. And then coldzera just does a fantastic job of babysitting Ivy. He's a staple for this MIBR roster alongside Taco, who's now rejoined him. And those two make it easy for the other 3 players to float around, to move around, because you know you can count on them to hold their positions and at least give the information required. So you are going to see that come out when MIBR do swap over. But right now, just coming out of a timeout, we'll get this one back underway. Round number 14. And MIBR have upgraded a couple little bits and pieces yet again. This time Taco has a UMP, Scout for Fur. Phelps has actually just gone all in and bought into an AK. Fallen has a Mac 10. This is a menagerie of a buy right now.
Yep, they're throwing it at the wall here.
It's going to be a hard in. They're actually just launching inside right now. This is wild.
They're going fast. JKS hears it, throws a nade in. That's going to do significant damage. He'll spray in for the rest. 2 kills on it, not all 4. Will hit the floor. Cold and Phelps to follow it up and actually giving themselves a bit of a chance in this. They've lost the ladder, but they still have control of the bomb. That's going to be planted now. Safe side of the bomb site as well. I take that back. Cold's not really confident.
He really should plan.
They haven't cleared tanker. He thinks there's going to be someone peeking him. I agree with you. He should be just planting this. Just put that bomb down, bro.
Obviously, we can see everything, and he can't here. But just for the money's sake, for Phelps, who bought into an AK in that last round, he's going to need the bonus.
A minute on the clock. That's not the issue.
Azza's going all the way around as well. He's being very careful about this. He's just pushing a team main, and he's going to go for the long flank on the Hall's position. So they're going to be completely locked in a second here.
Oh, Cold was just spotted as well. That's what he's worried about, that exact position. They didn't clear tanker. They couldn't really afford to push out from upper and give themselves up to connector, so finally takes the gamble, but they know he's there, and that nade certainly doesn't make things easy for him. Down to 19 HP with the deagle. Sliver Gap didn't quite see it, so X-ray misleading. I thought he could see around the train, not quite far enough. 2 to fire at, no headshot found. For Scout.
Oh, the timing.
He's got one on Azza. That actually works out.
Now he's got the AUG.
He's got the high side. The problem is where it's planted, he can't see it from there, so it's already diffused. He'd have to step well wide of the mark to see the bomb at that position, so it's now 10 rounds Renegades. That's after going down 4-2 at the start of this as well.
The patience displayed there by MIBR, I think what that starts to do if you're a Renegades player is think, is there a flank coming? Is there the potential that somebody could be behind us? Are they trying to push up and find a pick? But their hesitant nature meant that they didn't really have to worry about that too much, and Azza being thorough with that long rotation, he got a little bit unlucky with timing there, or on the other side of things, Fer got very lucky with timing. Gets to save that AUG and take it into this round. Let's see if he can have any impact. We have Phelps and Fallen over towards Ivy. The close pop hold yet again from Jacob and Azza. In team main is Fer. Cold Zero and Taco clearing the box hole. So, business as usual here. JKS is starting to play a little bit more passive now. The 2 rounds that he's been up close, he's either been punished off the bat or the rounds have gotten a little bit more interesting. So, he's going for a very static style back towards connector.
Jacob waiting for the push from A main. Has Leaz holding out Ivy. Fallen wants to go right side. Smoke already down. He'll flash over. Smoke at Pop Dog as well negates any threat of it. Someone peeking in the same position, but Gratisfaction, he's up to the op duels. Don't discount him as an opper. He's got the fight. He'll take Fallen out of it. Phelps pushing through, though. Good timing, but bad movement. Couldn't find where the feet went. Surely he saw them, but has no idea where Gratisfaction disappeared to because he launched off the ladder and vanished. And now Phelps is almost confused. He doesn't know how to approach the situation, but he'll get it in the end. Gratisfaction gives himself back up. Jacob, he'll find Phelps in return. It's just Taco and Cold. This looks 11-4 to me.
I think they'll still be happy with that. Renegades have had to work pretty hard in a lot of these rounds here. Enough time on the clock to make this interesting, but with Jacob getting that kill on Taco, you expect Cold Zero to fall any second, and there he goes. So, to continue with that stat line we were talking about earlier, the opening duel situation for MIBR in that first half, they were only able to find a total of 5 opening duels.
And they got 4 rounds.
Yeah, so we spoke about their lack to be able to convert if they didn't get those opening kills. Obviously, you'd have to go back and really look at the details.
Everyone played CT just to go with that graphic.
Maybe they just like the color blue.
I like the color blue. Sorry, go to your stat.
But yeah, you'd have to go back and look every single round to see if they found the opening and then converted. There was a couple rounds where they didn't find the opening and didn't convert. So, you know, it could just be a quick trade. That's where you have to look at the details of the situation. But Jacob having an absolute banger of a game there. You could see on 19 kills for him. So he's been hugely impactful. I like the way that he was swinging back towards inside.
Man down should have like a timer on it, right? If it's a kill and then there's like 10 seconds, then you're like, okay, it wasn't traded.
And then it's debatable. Is it a trade if it's on the same player who had the opening kill, like who got the first kill?
I say no to. Well, I see what you mean because one could be on A, one could be at B, and that definitely isn't a trade. But if it's someone else in the site involved in the same action, then that's still a trade to me because it's all they work in sequence, right? Good start, Taco with 1, but it's followed up immediately. This time, Renegades, they didn't have the opening pick, but they've got the round. 4-on-1 for Fur. He'll try to do what he can with the USP, but not much to be done, I don't think. Walking back out from Pop Dog. Pew Pew. Silenced pistol.
Renegades are looking hot here. You heard the Des talking about, obviously, more games like this to prove that the major wasn't just a once-off.
Well, that's one of the things with ENTZ, and I'll get to that in a minute. Sure. Well, I might as well talk about it now. Fur's done in this round. Number 3 in the world right now.
Yeah.
played through the minor and then the round of 24 and then the major.
Yep.
And don't discredit the fact that they played Liquid and Navi in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They had the hardest route in the playoffs to get to that final. But to suddenly be number 3 in the world, a lot of that's banked on the major, and we haven't seen enough sample size against specifically the other top teams.
Sure, when we did see them play in Blast, they drew with Liquid, and they put up a decent fight against Astralis, right? So they also beat all the other teams that they had to. The only game which stopped them was that Liquid match. So
they're definitely there or thereabout. I think now we're seeing it, but at the end of the major, when everyone was like, oh, they're amazing, they're amazing, it's like, okay, they had a good run.
Calm down a little bit, yeah.
Let's see it last over a long period of time.
On one of the million podcasts I was doing at the time, we basically had the sentiment that the way that they made it to that position was a fluke, right? Because you had X7, statistically their worst player, having the best playoff series. Like, he was their highest rated player, right? So it was the fashion in which they got their Sergey, traditionally one of their better players, was down towards the bottom of the stat lines, right? So to expect that to recur and happen time and time again, you have to really consider the numbers.
You could argue that one cancels out the other, though. That you could expect it from Sergey. More Taco with one gets away, but now he's going to go back. That was a given. JKS was ready for it as a result. And the shot is successful with the Galil. So, one down either side. And Phelps still hanging out in Pop Dog. He's not going to be dissuaded. Oh, that's unfortunate for him. He thought the nade meant that maybe they wouldn't peek, so he's like, I'll just hold my nerve, and then
and it would have slowed him a little bit as well, right? So JKS, good job to find these last 2 kills, but with 45 seconds left on the clock, Renegades can regroup and trade efficiently onto either site. Now, going out into the yard position, which is where I thought they were deciding to go. However, Azza has now made his way towards inside. I think they're going to try and sell a fake towards this inner bomb site and then just hit out through Pop Dog here, which is risky with the amount of time and the amount of angles to clear. So coldzera can definitely play spoiler from this position. The nades and flashes come in. The call has been made, but coldzera doesn't want to rotate just yet. 15 seconds.
He's waiting Pop Dog as well. Oh, decent position to be in because backside of the E-box, catch them off. Slightly unorthodox when you're running in. You're not going to stare there. Palm gets planted, and unfortunately, Fur once again finds himself in a 1-on-4, 13-4, looking to be the score for the Aussie.
This is wild right now.
All right, listen, man, you're the Australian, and you didn't even answer. Come on.
So here's the thing. I rarely cast, Matt. The last thing I want is for people to think that I am biased in the way that I'm mentioning of this game. So if I start doing that kind of stuff, people might give me the Jason Moses O'Toole treatment. I know when he casts North American games, people will just tweet at him saying he's biased, even though he's casting the thing as if it's just a standard matchup. So,
yeah, I get it.
You know, I don't want anyone to think anything ridiculous. I just want to watch good Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Okay, I get you. Good Counter-Strike.
See, here's the thing. I need Renegades to lose when we get to Sydney because I need them to play in my Caches team to beat Henry.
Ah, that's true. Too bad Henry's going to smash you this time.
Yeah, I think he's working on some big imports. So.
Yeah, oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe he's bringing in some Canadians?
I don't know about that.
I think he should. I think Sean Gares and I need to do something similar in North America.
You sure?
After a little danger zone attempt. Talking over this one because obviously it's an ego at this point in time, and it's just, a straightforward round. Didn't need to explain much. Walk in there, kill everyone. I think that you get Sean with his little whatever team he wants.
North American crew versus Team Canada.
I'll just take Team Canada. I'll get Naf and Twist. Okay. That's a rule, though. He'll always want Twist because he's like, oh, we were Misfits teammates. It's like, yeah, because he had to carry you, but he's Canadian.
So you get Naf and Twist. He's getting, obviously, you can get like Stewie.
And I'll get Daps maybe.
Yeah.
Stanislaw.
You got some big names out there.
Android, X23.
All right, well, this one here is the business end. If MIBR lose this, that's basically the game in the bag, and Renegades have just done this in blistering fashion on MIBR's map choice. Renegades don't really have to do too much here. They can play this relatively standard. It is a bonus round holding onto the MAC-10 and the UMP, as are in Gratisfaction respectively. And we're going to see more of the same. You can see this default spread. They're waiting out utility, seeing if they can bait anything out. And we have seen 5 scopes now on the MIBR side too. They've got the 2 AWPs, one for Taco and one for Fallen. And then 3 Orgs in the hands of Phelps, Fur, and coldzera. So as this one trickles on in, we've got 1 minute and 15 left on the clock. Just feeling the pulse of this round. This would normally just be like a late inside hit, right? This is what you tend to expect. Default spread, make sure there's no crazy aggression from the CTs. After you've done that, you've baited out their standard utility, their protocol nades, as we like to call them. And then you go back and you execute with superior utility. Yep. And hopefully at that point, then you can give yourself an avenue into the bomb site and take the aim jewels. Now, first position towards the back of the bomb train, He needs to get at least 2 here because Taco's going to be smoked on off.
I thought they were going to go for the high-sided boost as well, and with the position with Fur, they might have been able to catch one, but they're not. They're just looking to get the smokes out. Flashbang went in, not a nade, so didn't do any damage. Spots the feet Fur, but he's flashed, and he needs to be careful. Reload's going to be required, which means he'll get one, but have to get that done. And they can start to push more than that. Didn't get a chance to get the full reload in because of utility. That forced him into an awkward position. Jacob got him down with the AK. And Azza gets all the way up toward connector, playing with the UMP. All he has to do at this point in time is make sure no one gets by. Just hold the angles, play it out. Fallen's going to get him down, but at least bought a little bit of space. The problem is now for Jacob. Needs this next kill, finds Taco, good read. They know exactly where he is. And Leaz needs to play off of it. High side, he will. He goes out and gets cold. Protects his teammate and Fallen. AWP tries to fake that he goes up. As only Fallen can, he'll find the kill immediately. But is there time enough? No kit, no armor. He's got to save the AWP, and that's going to put us on Renegades on that point.
Oh, the ladder not only baited the peak, it gave Full a nice little bit of unique movement there to hit that shot. Fast reactions by the in-game leader here, but as you mentioned, the save was the only decision to be made. And now Renegades, 15 rounds on the board, 15-4. They've won both pistols, sure, but you look at that first half. They had that eco round that they won. We had the whiff on Jacob, right? Jacob was able to pivot with the Deagle in the back lane to get that kill, and then 3 players swarm Fallen on the bomb train. And then there was that 3v5 situation. JK has punished the low round with the AWP. Leaz with the push of Ivy, and he gets punished by Phelps. And at that point in time, you think this one's all over. This is going to be a streak of rounds from OBR, but Renegade somehow converted. And now the Brazilians are looking lost here.
Taco back inside of the site. Jacob instead be the one to challenge over toward B. Smoke goes deep, but he stays high. He won't bother going down in any further with the AK-47. He knows the situation. They don't have a lot to work with. The op about all. Bomb still out towards spawn. That says all you need to know about the round with 1:12 still on the clock. Taco, this is interesting. Trying to get back out. Smartly done. Finds one, falls off. And not only that, they've baited this a little bit because they put... I thought it was Fallen. It's first still on the M4, so still has some range, but it's further they're going to have out on the high side now at B. And if they go back around to try and chase JKS, he was ready to step wide of the mark. Spotted in doing it, however. He's got to be very careful and falls away with 64 left to work with. Good nade. Fallen's gotten an AWP shot as well.
Renegade's getting picked off all across the map here, and now they're not left with too many options. We do have Gratisfaction with the AWP of his own. Still towards team main, but the call from the boss man, Anza, is we're going to be trying our luck towards the inner site here. Jacob looking for a pick towards high ramp, but Fur's not showing his head. We can see he's playing a safe position, just getting them as they drop on off. And Taco's still close with that MP9. He can do a lot of damage from a position like this.
Oh, he should have. The problem is the smoke on the left side meant that Fur couldn't see Jacob, and that gave up his teammate. Not only that, he stepped a little bit too far off the ledge, gave away his aim, and Jacob's going to follow it up. Bomb goes down, 3 kills for him. Finally, though, Phelps arrives on the flank. Gratisfaction trades it immediately. 100 HP, Fallen to go against him on the op. It's a one-on-one battle for the game, and Gratisfaction beats Fallen to it, 16-4. Great turnaround in the last...
Another round, Matt.
Late rounds that they win.
Another round that they have no business in winning. Like, absolutely no business at all.